Olarinwaju Daudu, and I welcome you to the Half Free Aussie Footprint podcast. If this is the first time you are watching this podcast, this is where we celebrate the struggle, the wins, and the successes of African entrepreneurs and professionals making impact and building legacies in Australia. And today we are fortunate to have Precious Esegu, who in Nigerian parlance we dub him Odogu. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from Precious. Precious, can you please introduce yourself and what you do?
Okay, thank you, Larry, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I have a career span of 25 years right now, and I've transitioned in different industries: property development, real estate, consulting, operating and owning businesses, being a founder. Before I moved to Australia, to focus on strategy, to focus on business development, to focus on supporting businesses to thrive and grow, and to scale them into different areas, different sectors, operations, you name it. And what has been my passion has been to grow businesses and create platforms for people to thrive in the industry. So you look at me or call me sound like a change agent. So I like to transform industries or sectors I'm in to deliver value. And that is what my focus and vision is: to give many of our African brothers and sisters and different communities the opportunity to thrive in their various businesses. And that has been a long life pattern of mine, which is still one of my passion and I love to do, and actually making money in the process and giving back to the community.
Awesome. That sounds great. So I believe you could be seen as someone who sits in the intersection of business, system, and management. So the next question I would really want to ask is, before you move into Australia, obviously there are other countries, maybe Kuwait or even Saudi Arabia, other countries where they are not even paying tax. So why Australia?
Australia was in the US with my family, and Australia was a choice because of the family orientation, the Australian environment brings to the family. That's stability for family. That's a family environment where your kids, friends can actually focus on raising a family, building businesses, and supporting others. So Australia, although unknown to me, kids, right? I decided to give it a try. Canada was actually where I wanted to settle, but the weather was a huge consideration because my wife had a low tolerance for cold. So Australia became the perfect choice. She was not keen on it anyway, but I decided to give it a go. And immediately I got here, I invited my family, my wife and kids to come. They came a few months later. They loved it. The kids said, "Dad, we want to be here." But that was what made the choice. And Australia became the destination.
Yeah, having chats with other successful entrepreneurs like yourself, there has been a recurring theme, and that is getting the first entry into the markets. Could you walk us through some of the challenges you initially encounter?
Yeah, when I got to Australia, one of my key areas was the property sector in Australia. Quite a huge industry, and that was my bread and butter, something I could literally do in my sleep. So I started approaching different organizations, either for opportunities to either work with them or to drive growth for them. And I had several interviews with directors, and they gave me some pointers, meet organizations within our professional institute, but I discovered that there's a lot of red tape. So the next step was, while I submitted all my documentations, I set up my own business. I set up a property development company in Australia. I started attending conferences, events in the property space. I became part of an investment group. And before you know it, I was pitching to investors on property and investments, especially in the property development space. So that was what informed my decision. And the ease of starting a business in Australia is one of a strong point. If you want to be a business owner and entrepreneur, it's a very good environment for you to start a business. But you really need to get proper mentoring and coaching so that you do not get abandoned, as it were, on who to talk to, industry experts to give you the right direction on where to start to pivot, where to start growing a customer base. Because Australia is predominantly a relationship-driven environment. You cannot just drop from anywhere and start talking to people, there'll be a lot of resistance. So you need to build trust. You need to build a relationship. Once you have that at your corner, and someone local advocating for you, then transitioning or growing your business becomes very easy. So a lot of is who you know that really matters here, and a history of delivering value. If you are known as someone who gets the job done, and your word is your bond, you go places. Your name will supersede you. Popularity, your name, exploits you've done, will speak for you. So that is what I discovered coming in here. Although it was a process I had to learn over time that people, yes, you can be the best performer in the room. But if people don't trust you, it will be difficult to grow your business. You need to build trust. You need to contribute to the economy. You need to contribute to the environment, the community, volunteer. Let people see that you're generous with your time, you're generous with purpose, you love supporting others. Before the community will come around you and give you the support.
Yeah, that sounds great. So yeah, really, Australians are big on trust, and that is one of the social currency. And really hearing that from you really resonates well with me. The other question I really want to ask is, when you were about to go into the property development space, apart from the fact that you had to do your due diligence, I would assume you did a lot of research. What's the place of a mentor?
Yes, a mentor, because I've had several mentors before in coming to Australia. Mentors provide a unique opportunity for you to scale quickly without wasting time, resources, and mistakes. And that is what actually stalls businesses. When you make too many mistakes, it could get you caught up in the wrong side of things. That means solving problems you're not even supposed to be part of or supposed to have even gotten involved in the first place. So a mentor qualifies you for opportunities that you do not deserve. What people learn from mistakes, your mentors remove that first barrier, the mistakes. They just provide clarity on where you need to focus. Frameworks or strategies that will help you start becoming profitable from the get-go. And also introduce you to industry sectors who will speak for you in rooms that you cannot be or will never be in. Looking for opportunities to grow or to partner, these are where mentors provide you that direction. And mind you, a mentor will not call you every day asking what are you supposed to do today. No, that's the code. A mentor gives you strategic perspective. In 1 year, what do you have to do? Okay, talk to this person. Provide a business framework. Focus on this industry sector. Focus on this niche. Talk to people in this industry. And that is a strategic armory, like I said, information that you really need to excel in that space. And so for you to be able to succeed at each point of reference, you need time to deliver. That is where a coach comes in. A coach will now sit you, okay, we want to meet industry sector experts that will speak for you in rooms that you are not in. You need to get a sponsor. A coach will tell you to get a sponsor. Then once a coach tells you to get a sponsor, then the coach will also direct you need to attend industry events. Now this is where you now have to attend industry events, share with people what you're already building, your drive, your purpose, your story, and where you want them to come in. And this is where sponsors, when they evaluate the quality of what you want to do and the principle behind what you're doing, then they can now provide you that support. Talking to people to give you a chance to come and deliver value for them, because somebody has to speak for you. So a sponsor speaks for you in rooms that you're not qualified for, meaning you've not spent 10 years in Australia, we don't know you, but a sponsor vouches for you. If a sponsor speaks on your behalf, a sponsor elevates you to be seen or to be seen as someone of value. So that is where the different stages of people come into your life. Primarily the mentor first, secondly the coach, thirdly the sponsor. So once you have these three people lined up, you can now pivot, start delivering value from the get-go. And that will now inform what scope you need to focus on at each business, at each point of lesson, at each point of discussion. And at this point, you now know the support team you need to build. You need to know how to source capital. You need to know who will vouch for you, who will provide you guarantee, and who will provide you resources. Because sometimes you don't have all this at the tip of your finger. You need to get them. Then these industry experts will now say you need to talk to and where to get those support information. Then you are ready to grow and scale your business.
Awesome. It appears to me that the African community in Australia is a bit isolated. Correct me if I'm wrong. However, apart from people who are contributing to socio-economic development in Australia, what would you say is the major barrier to building lasting business or organizations in Australia?
Well, the African community is more or less about exposure. It's a mindset thing. Coming to Australia, a lot of people have personal goals, personal, not collaborative goals. So people are not ready to listen or to provide a platform to drive anybody's goals. Everybody's has a personal goal. Once it is personally driven, there's a risk to it. So if your vision does not align with my vision, sometimes somebody's vision is to buy a property in Australia. That's it. Merely has a house, you're done. Some is don't want to create a business that employs or provides employment opportunities for the African diaspora. And once they're able to do that, they're done. Some want to take it international. After setting up a business that's employing people, they want to scale to other countries. They now want to create opportunities to give back to the community. That's the largest vision, giving back. Not just creating value and just benefiting from it, but also giving back to a wider audience. People back home, people in Australia, and internationally, to give that opportunity that, come partner, wherever you are within the African diaspora, if you're in UK, in Australia, in Canada, you can still link up with us and provide that opportunity. We have investment opportunities in Australia. So it depends on the vision of the individual. And I've discovered that I think that's a lot of Africans, but I've discovered either many of them don't have a wider vision. Secondly, some are scared. They don't want anything to rock the boat. They don't want to be known. They want to hide and just get going with their life and whatever. But if your vision is bigger than you, then the imprint, the value it delivers will start from you, but it will succeed you and it will have a wider audience because you capture a range of audiences, not just the African community, but people from migrant communities who want to excel in Australia. You see them coming to you, they want to partner, they love what you're doing, and they want to grow with you. So the mindset is one of the real challenges. People are just focused on me rather than us. But if we're able to just let our me be more or less like subsidiary, and the us becomes the major focus, then you can see a lot of representation in that space. I think that is what I've been able to identify in preventing a lot of people to see what our community is doing. Our communities are doing a lot, magnificently a lot. But because if you just focus on me, nobody gets to know about it. But when we now focus on us, and that's why I created a lot of platforms. I also am the president of the African Federation of Australia, which is a platform to advocate, to share with the community, to share with Australians, to share with the American community what our communities are doing. And we want to do more. We are providing that platform. And also different enterprises and different not-for-profits, that is the purpose, to amplify the voice of our community. They are doing a lot, but we still have a lot to do. Because once our community even identified that we have people in our country that are doing all this, why did anyone mention it? So we are giving that opportunity to advertise what we do. Once you advertise, people now know that you're there. Then they want to intentionally connect to see where they can support you, be part of the goal, and to provide more opportunities for others in that space to thrive.
Yeah, great. I believe this is also one of the core essence of setting up the Have Free Aussie podcast. So just bringing up people together to get to know a lot of, like you said, I allude to the fact that a lot has been done, but yet there's still more to be done. Precious, what does success look like for you?
Success actually is, I'm a family person. I love children. I love to see them thrive. Secondly, I love to see people thrive within my community. I don't have a distinction. I feel like you're a human being and you are a people person, you love people. I can give you my all. So I love to give. I'm a giver by nature. And sometimes I find it shy to ask because it's all about upbringing. Once you've been raised in an environment where you are, I've seen it from my parents, they're always giving, they hardly ask.
Yeah.
So unconsciously that got into me. What can I do? Where can I give? I look out for others first before I even look out for myself. But I've discovered a principle that once you look out for others, you will eventually be taken care of. Eventually. Even if you do not ask, people will ask you, where can we help? Where can we support? And now this is what you now have to choose where your help comes from. Oh, I need this help with this. I need that help with this. So I've also learned to also accept or receive help, especially the help that I really need. If you take care of, my focus has been on, I'm also spiritual. I won't say religious. I'm a spiritual person because I apply principles in my life. And the second greatest commandment, people think that there are two commandments, but there are actually only two greatest commandments. Love the Almighty with your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole strength. The second, like it, is love your neighbor as yourself.
That's
So
correct.
when I love my neighbor, people around me, people that are in my community, I should give them, treat them the way I want to be treated. I'm demonstrating love. And that also shows I love the Almighty. And he says, anything you do out of love will come to you 100-fold. Not one-fold, not double, 100-fold. So that has been my underlying principle. Give to others because you're eventually giving to yourself. And that makes me shine, that makes me happy. I go to bed sleeping peacefully, happily, and joyful. If I tell people my age, they won't believe it, but it keeps me young, it keeps me youthful, it keeps me accomplished. That if I'm on my bed, I say, yes, today was worth it. I can't wait for tomorrow to begin and let me see what I can. And if that is the principle for everybody, you will always have a reason to wake up out of your bed the next day to see what you can do. There are obstacles along the way, but at the end of the day, you're a better person.
100%. So what do you see, like with the development and trend advances in artificial intelligence, what do you think the impact will be on businesses, system and management globally?
Well, the artificial intelligence is one of my specialty. I'm an AI architect, actually in the business space, not just technical. So I look for how to integrate technology into the business, provide a strategy for businesses to scale at the least cost, and to reach a wider audience and to solve problems and the go-to-market strategy. That is where artificial intelligence brings that competitive advantage. So in any business right now, artificial intelligence becomes a force multiplier. In the sense, you don't need a huge head count of workers in your company. You only need key industry experts who can overlook your technology and use it to grow your business. So AI will actually provide you a competitive advantage. That means you deliver value faster than your competition. You're able to identify problems faster than your competition. And once you're able to identify problems faster, deliver value faster, and your ROI, the cost of you delivering this value to your clients or customers or businesses becomes a competitive advantage. That means you can actually generate more revenue faster because you have an AI implementation strategy than your competition that may take 6 months to deliver value. So if you're delivering value every week for your competition that delivers every 6 months, you take over the market. You become the go-to person to deliver value quicker, faster, and before you know it, you can now control more market share. It's all about market share. So if I can condense a market of maybe 200 billion total addressable market, I can deliver value in 6 months across these markets. Then focus on one just single niche, then I own that business vertically and horizontally. So AI can give you that opportunity to be able to go into a market penetrate the market, deliver value, and also grow it, scale it quickly. Yeah, you just relax. All the hard work is now AI give you that leverage. You don't the manual tasks are resolved. So you can now focus on giving back to the community. So that is where your connection with the community will now become here. Also, a value-driven proposition. Look at what I'm doing. I've done this for this industry. I can do this for you. So it gives you time to also pivot into other industries that you can then solve from faster. So you like to change agents, changing one at a time, problems in the community, in the environment, in the global landscape. Then provide that ultimate solution. And now build trust, build confidence in the community that you are the go-to person, you are the preferred choice. And this is where your human relationship will actually also distinguish you. So it gives you more time to have discussions with the community, connect with them, understand their nuances, their cultural affiliations, their sentiments, their fears, their unique values, their what appeals to their consciousness. So you become a person of value because I can relate to you. You're not providing me a solution just for the sake of reducing the number of the cost or just making money. You are also giving back. Okay, this is where, because you've made so much money, you still pour it back into the community by providing them services to alleviate or also giving them the opportunity to provide more services. So in AI is reducing the cost for training. So how can I use AI to train people to become more literate at a shorter space of time? We have the educational sector. A typical master will take you 2 years. 2 years, full time. But if you introduce artificial intelligence into it, you can turn it around from 6 months to 1 year. And you can also use it to build capabilities in people where they can now start running a business immediately. Within 6 months, they are running businesses that are solving real life problems, of creating value. People are willing to pay for it. And before you know it, you have more time for family, you have more time for relationships, you have more time for holidays to connect with people. So the quality of your life really improves. You become a better human being. You become a person of value. A person someone wants to connect with, have discussions with, and you become a better world to live in. Rather than just buried in work, no time for family, you're not even solving the problems. Nobody appreciates what you're doing because there is no value that you're delivering. You're just trying to solve problems, but you're not turning out value. AI becomes that differentiator. And if you're into that space, believe in me, you're not only building wealth for yourself, for a community, but for generations.
With the implementation of AI comes some challenges. So what's your take on responsible AI in terms of product development, deepfake and all that? So what's your take?
My take on artificial intelligence is the governance. Having governance standards. That means how do we use this technology in an ethical way to deliver outcomes for the good of people, not for the company. Because for instance, I did a business turnaround from Holland healthcare provider. I leveraged, because I'm an AI architect, I built AI platforms to be able to help me manage the sourcing. And what I discovered was that because people did not understand what artificial intelligence was there to do, there was a bit of hesitation because people thought it would take my job.
Yeah.
But they did not understand that it's not about taking your job. It's about helping you to do better at your job.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence with human supervision is where the opportunity is. That means you deliver value faster, quicker, without spending too much time on the desk. You connect more with people. So I had an opportunity to leverage artificial intelligence in that business around for a day. I had more engagements with the clients. They spoke with me. They had discussions with me. They felt respected because I had time for them. And they wonder, how do you have more time to speak with us when the whole place is almost in disarray? I told them I had structures in place to deliver that. So that is where the implementation is not a problem. It's the governance, especially between the business and the client. So if the business has governance strategies to implement artificial intelligence with standards and ethical practice, that means the AI implementation must have a security guardrail in place. That means personal identifying information of clients should be protected. The use of this technology should not be abused, because artificial intelligence will only it has what do you call it? It gives you strategies based on what you want to achieve. So the business must be focused on delivering what is beneficial for both the business and the client. Because if the business focuses on what can I do just to make money for me and still not satisfy client needs, it will give you strategies to do that. And if you do that, you have a lot of money, but you have a lot of dissenting voices from your customer base because they are not catered for, they are not carried along. So that is where having standards and ethical practices in place will be the differentiator. It makes you more humane. It makes you more agreeable, more collaborative as a business that wants to really solve people's problems and leave a good impression. So, ethical practices with artificial governance standards for artificial intelligence is key. So this is where government bodies need to actually look at the ethical practices of AI usage within organizations. So they need to investigate. What are your ethical practices? Are they embedded in your AI governance standards? Are your staff trained to have a culture of being ethical in the implementation of artificial intelligence in solving problems within the business? So once that culture is built, is cultivated, and auditors can actually look at, okay, what did you do here? What did you do here? What did you do here? Demonstrate that you have ethical practices as part of the AI governance standards. Those who do not meet the criteria will either need their license to operate in that industry or be given time to upgrade their standards to reflect the ethical practice. So that is where we need to monitor that performance level so that we deliver what is collaborative and what helps everyone, not just a certain group of people.
Right. If I was about to wrap this up, we usually end with completing a sentence. So the sentence is, the footprint I hope to leave is. So it could be anything. For example, you could say the footprint you hope to leave is. So over to you, Precious.
Well, the footprint that I plan to leave is to leave the world better than I met it. Better than I met it. I was brought here to a purpose. If I'm able to do that, Jesus Christ came and said, it is finished. So my principle is the same thing. It is finished. I gave my all, I gave my best. It is finished. If you call me again to deliver again, I will not change it. I will still give my best. That is it.
All right, Precious, thank you very much for your time. It's been very insightful, even entertaining, educative. And thank you very much for making our time for this. And I'm very optimistic that we look forward to building legacies together, make positive impacts in our environment, in our community, and even the world at large. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.